Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
An accusation that you are responsible for some lapse or misdeed. The police laid the blame on the driver. Harass with constant criticism. A reproach for some lapse or misdeed. He took the blame for it. Put or pin the blame on. Attribute responsibility to. We blamed the accident on her. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. It's a blamed shame. An accusation that you are responsible for some lapse or misdeed. His incrimination was based on my testimony. An accusation that you are responsible for some lapse or misdeed. Harass with constant criticism. The quantity of a crop that is harvested. He sent the first picking of berries to the market. The person or thing chosen or selected. He was my pick for mayor. A heavy iron tool with a wooden handle and a curved head that is pointed on both ends. They used picks and sledges to break the rocks. Pull lightly but sharply with a plucking motion. Pay for something. Pick up the tab. Look for and gather. Pick mushrooms. The act of choosing or selecting. You can take your pick. The best people or things in a group. Harass with constant criticism. Don't always pick on your little brother. Eat intermittently. Take small bites of. Remove unwanted substances from, such as feathers or pits. A small thin device, of metal or plastic or ivory, used to pluck a stringed instrument. The yarn woven across the warp yarn in weaving. Attack with or as if with a pickaxe of ice or rocky ground, for example. Hit lightly with a picking motion. A basketball maneuver. Obstructing an opponent with one's body. He was called for setting an illegal pick. A thin sharp implement used for removing unwanted material. He used a pick to clean the dirt out of the cracks. Pilfer or rob. Pickpockets. Provoke. Pick a fight or a quarrel. Remove in small bits. Pick meat from a bone. Select carefully from a group. She finally picked her successor. The act of hitting vigorously. A gentle blow. The sound made by a gentle blow. A reproach for some lapse or misdeed. It was a bum rap. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. Genre of African American music of the 1980s and 1990s in which rhyming lyrics are chanted to a musical accompaniment. Several forms of rap have emerged. Strike sharply. Rap him on the knuckles. Perform rap music. Talk volubly. Voluble conversation. A wrong action attributable to bad judgment or ignorance or inattention. I could understand his English in spite of his grammatical faults. An imperfection in an object or machine. The quality of being inadequate or falling short of perfection. He knew his own faults much better than she did. Geology. A crack in the Earth's crust resulting from the displacement of one side with respect to the other. They built it right over a geological fault. Put or pin the blame on. Electronics. Equipment failure attributable to some defect in a circuit, loose connection or insulation failure or short circuit, etc. It took much longer to find the fault than to fix it. Responsibility for a bad situation or event. It was John's fault. Sports. A serve that is illegal, e.g., that lands outside the prescribed area. He served too many double faults. Criminal law. A pleading describing some wrong or offense. He was arrested on a charge of larceny. Move quickly and violently. A quantity of explosive to be set off at one time. This cartridge has a powder charge of 50 grains. The quantity of unbalanced electricity in a body, either positive or negative, and construed as an excess or deficiency of electrons. The battery needed a fresh charge. Cause to be agitated, excited, or roused. The speaker charged up the crowd with his inflammatory remarks. Psychoanalysis. The libidinal energy invested in some idea or person or object. Freud thought of cathexis as a psychic analog of an electrical charge. Demand payment. Will I get charged for this service? Direct into a position for use. He charged his weapon at me. Blame for. Make a claim of wrongdoing or misbehavior against. He charged the director with indifference. Request for payment of a debt. They submitted their charges at the end of each month. Cause to be admitted. Of persons to an institution. File a formal charge against. The suspect was charged with murdering his wife. To make a rush at or sudden attack upon, as in battle. Give over to another for care or safekeeping. Provide, a device, with something necessary. Attention and management implying responsibility for safety. A special assignment that is given to a person or group. His charge was deliver a message. Heraldry consisting of a design or image depicted on a shield. A formal statement of a command or injunction to do something. The judge's charge to the jury. Attribute responsibility to. The tragedy was charged to her inexperience. An assertion that someone is guilty of a fault or offense. The newspaper published charges that Jones was guilty of drunken driving. The swift release of a store of effective force. Impose a task upon, assign a responsibility to. He charged her with cleaning up all the files over the weekend. Assign a duty, responsibility or obligation to. She was charged with supervising the creation of a concordance. An impetuous rush toward someone or something. The wrestler's charge carried him past his adversary. A person committed to your care. The teacher led her charges across the street. Cause formation of a net electrical charge in or on. Charge a conductor. Energize a battery by passing a current through it in the direction opposite to discharge. I need to charge my car battery. Enter a certain amount as a charge. He charged me $15. Fill or load to capacity. Charge the wagon with hay. Financial liabilities, such as a tax. The charges against the estate. Instruct. a jury, about the law, its application, and the weighing of evidence. Instruct or command with authority. The teacher charged the children to memorize the poem. Lie down on command, of hunting dogs. Make an accusatory claim. The defense attorney charged that the jurors were biased. Pay with a credit card. Pay with plastic money. Postpone payment by recording a purchase as a debt. Will you pay cash or charge the purchase? Place a heraldic bearing on. Charge all weapons, shields, and banners. Saturate. The room was charged with tension and anxiety. Set or ask for a certain price. How much do you charge for lunch? The price charged for some article or service. The admission charge. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. It's a blamed shame. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. He's a blasted idiot. Roman Catholic. Proclaimed one of the blessed and thus worthy of veneration. Highly favored or fortunate, as e.g. by divine grace. Our blessed land. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. Not a blessed dime. Characterized by happiness and good fortune. A blessed time. Enjoying the bliss of heaven. Worthy of worship. Something of little value. His promise is not worth a damn. Wish harm upon. Invoke evil upon. Extremely. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. I'll be damned, or blessed or darned or goddamned, if I'll do any such thing. Used as expletives. Oh, damn, or goddamn. In danger of the eternal punishment of hell. Poor damned souls. In a damnable manner. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. I'll be damned, or blessed or darned or goddamned, if I'll do any such thing. People who are condemned to eternal punishment. He felt he had visited the realm of the damned. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. I'll be damned, or blessed or darned or goddamned, if I'll do any such thing. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. A deuced idiot. Extremely. You are goddamn right. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. I'll be damned, or blessed or darned or goddamned, if I'll do any such thing. Extremely. You are goddamn right. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. I'll be damned, or blessed or darned or goddamned, if I'll do any such thing. Used as expletives. Oh, damn, or goddamn. Extremely. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. I'll be damned, or blessed or darned or goddamned, if I'll do any such thing. Extremely evil or cruel. Expressive of cruelty or befitting hell. Infernal instruments of war. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. An infernal nuisance. An inhabitant of hell. His roar made the infernals quake. Being of the underworld. Infernal regions. Characteristic of or resembling hell. Infernal noise. Of or pertaining to or characteristic of a very uncontrolled and intense fire. Infernal heat. Deserving a curse, sometimes used as an intensifier. Deserving a curse, sometimes used as an intensifier. Villagers shun the area believing it to be cursed. In danger of the eternal punishment of hell. A formal charge of wrongdoing brought against a person. The act of imputing blame or guilt. A formal charge of wrongdoing brought against a person. The act of imputing blame or guilt. An assertion that someone is guilty of a fault or offense. Find fault with. Express criticism of. Point out real or perceived flaws. The paper criticized the new movie. Act as a critic. Those who criticize others often are not perfect, either. A vigorous blow. The sudden knock floored him. The act of hitting vigorously. Find fault with. Express criticism of. Point out real or perceived flaws. Don't knock the food, it's free. Deliver a sharp blow or push. He knocked the glass clear across the room. Knock against with force or violence. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. The sound of knocking, as on a door or in an engine or bearing. The knocking grew louder. Sound like a car engine that is firing too early. Negative criticism. A bad experience. The school of hard knocks. Rap with the knuckles. Knock on the door. Find fault with. Express criticism of. Point out real or perceived flaws. Find fault with. Express criticism of. Point out real or perceived flaws. Act as a critic. Express criticism towards. The president reproached the general for his irresponsible behavior. A mild rebuke or criticism. Words of reproach. Disgrace or shame. He brought reproach upon his family. Blame for. Make a claim of wrongdoing or misbehavior against. Bring an accusation against. Level a charge against. The neighbors accused the man of spousal abuse. A construct whereby objects or individuals can be distinguished. Decide as to where something belongs in a scheme. Attribute or credit to. We attributed this quotation to Shakespeare. An abstraction belonging to or characteristic of an entity. Attribute or credit to.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.